We already have a couple of sniper guides in my channel ready for new and old players who are looking to improve their sniping skills, because let's be honest, who doesn't like snipers? Nothing beats the satisfaction you get when you quickscope an enemy. But lately I've been getting cooked by a lot of snipers in ranked, and I just wanted to try the new Type 19 assault rifle, and I won't lie, it's kind of frustrating. They're just too good. After getting destroyed in ranked, I think it's about time to change things up. Instead of helping people learn how to become good at snipers, it's time for us to find a way to counter sniper rifles once and for all. The number one rule in every FPS game that you play is to never peek against a sniper, especially if they know what they're doing. When you peek, you're basically exposing yourself to their line of sight, even if it's just for a brief moment. And that wouldn't be the best choice, knowing that snipers naturally excel in long range fights, and all they need is to land a clean shot to take you down. But if you take a step back and think about it, there's actually a lot of things you can do to counter snipers. And one good example is by making them do all the work. Remember to be patient. They basically want them to rush you, so instead of forcing a fight that you will likely lose, find a different way to approach the situation. The goal here is to force the sniper to make the move towards the objective and take them down in a situation where the odds are in your favor, like in tight areas where snipers mostly struggle. Always stick to cover, know the common sniping angles, and try not to show yourself when you don't have to, if possible. Remember, positioning is key, and a solid non-wall bangable cover is your best friend. By making use of good cover, you minimize your exposure and make it harder for snipers to land a shot. Some wall bangable covers you should watch out for are these wooden walls in long A, and the whole white barracks at firing range, the whole P1 concrete in standoff, and this huge wall outside gallery at mid in raid. Stop going straight to the sniper's crosshair. Take your time to plan your next move and strike when the moment is right. What if the enemy sniper is careful and the passive type? One thing you can do is to bait your teammate. I said it, bait a teammate or become a bait yourself. Snipers aren't the best when it comes to numbers, so pushing with a teammate will be your best bet. Just keep your distance if you don't want this to happen to you. We all know that randoms aren't the most reliable teammates you can have most of the time. There will be a guy who'd sit at spawn the entire round, one who's always dead at the first few seconds, a guy who doesn't know what he's doing, and one who brings the bomb at the other side of the map and dies. Don't worry, as a solo player myself, I can feel your pain, but there's always a workaround for it. After all, it's all about knowing your options and what you can do about it. Here's a quick scenario. You're playing in Coastal and you can't push B site in the past few rounds since the enemy team has it on full lockdown and filled it with traps. Your team has no choice but to push A site, but there's a small problem. There's a sniper at long A who took down 3 of your teammates, making it hard for your team to make an entry. With your last teammate who's hiding from the sniper, it's all up to you to win the round. What should you do? Push long A and bait your teammate? Carefully find a way to flank the sniper? Rotate with your teammate and force B side? Or emote? If your answer is B, then you're correct. You have to find a way to take out the sniper from behind. It's simple, like I said earlier. Snipers may be strong at holding long lanes and taking down enemies one by one, but they're usually vulnerable to flanks and pretty weak when overwhelmed with numbers. And in this case, you want to flank the enemy sniper while he's busy and keep your teammate alive so he can help you out during the post-plant phase. Remember that snipers thrive in long range and open areas, and contesting them in that scenario wouldn't be a good idea. You can't close the gap by pre-firing while moving from one cover to another, or simply find another way around by pushing them from their side or behind. I know what you're thinking. Yes, it's easier said than done. If there are no alternative ways to push the enemy sniper, you can always use quick movement to throw them off and get a chance for a quick pickoff. Snipers have high magnification scopes equipped by default, so quick and precise movements are actually good for situations where you don't have enough cover. Against snipers or not, many players still forget that mastering utilities is just as important as seeking cover. Lethal and tactical equipment like frag grenades, flashbangs, concussions are okay for flushing enemy snipers out from cover if used right, but there's nothing better than using the good old smoke grenade and stormball, especially if you're against sniper players. Smoke grenades are pretty simple and easy to use. All you have to do is to throw it anywhere you want, and it'll provide you a temporary cover for movement that can help you break enemy line of sight and give you flanking opportunities. For maximum value, instead of throwing grenades at yourself, aim your smokes near but not too close at the sniper's position. By doing this, not only their trophy system can't deny our smoke, but it will also appear bigger and cover more area as long as it's placed close near the sniper's nest. So what about the stormball? It actually does the same thing, but instead of having a smoke effect, A bubble will fall from the sky that lasts 8 seconds and disables enemy health regeneration inside. You can place one storm ball up to 50 meters by tapping the location you want in a mini tablet. It's also important to know that the storm ball will activate on the first surface it touches, meaning if there's a roof or any sort of overhead cover, then it will appear like this, which some people will not like. But we personally think it's cool because you can actually do a one-way smoke, which can be useful against snipers. Overall, I think the smoke is more beginner friendly and easier to use. I can just throw it whenever I have to in situations where I need a quick get out of jail card, while the storm ball requires more advanced skill in order to make the most out of its slightly longer concealment health regen debuff. If you ask me what kind of tactical equipment I'd use against a sniper, then my answer would be the classic smoke grenade. But what about you? Would you run the classic smoke grenade or try something new like the storm ball? Let me know in the comments below. Now that you have your smoke grenades and storm ball ready, the right equipment is all you need left to complete the final piece. Let's start with the restock perk. This allows you to replenish both lethal and tactical equipment every 25 seconds, which can really come in handy in games where you have to play slow. For the green perk, you might want to run hardwired when you're up against snipers who use strip mines or ghosts to hide yourself from enemy UAVs, since snipers are known to rely on info when holding down lanes. And last but not the least, dead silence, to keep that stealthy approach when going for a flank. What about weapons? If you were to ask me which weapon is the best to use against snipers, I'd say snipers. You just have to hit your shots and be faster than your enemy. But of course, not everyone can use a sniper, or maybe they don't just want to use it at all. If you happen to be one of these players, then your best bet would be assault rifles and LMGs that have high bullet impact. What does bullet impact even mean? The whole concept of bullet impact, or BMP, is basically the hit flinch multiplier of your weapon. It means that the higher your weapon's BMP is, more hit flinch and intensity will be added to an enemy player when hit. What weapons are considered to have a high bullet impact? Assault rifles like the AK-47 and the DRH, and of course, light machine guns. So what weapons should you use if you really want to be annoying? We suggest using the UL736, Holger, PKM, RPD with a cooling barrel, and DRH with a 30-round OTM mag. While these are great weapons for countering snipers by giving them an insane amount of hit flinch, you should always remember that contesting sniper at long range and wide open areas aren't really recommended to begin with. Making use of cover when on the move and finding another way to push will always be the best and safest choice. What's your secret tip to counter snipers? Let us know down in the comments below. You won't be facing 5 snipers at the same time in the lobby, but you'll need these tips to frag out without too much effort. You can learn more about it right here. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.